Hello, Trombone Internet. This is Chris Van Hoff, assistant to the regional manager of the International Trombone Festival. We at the festival, of course, are huge fans of the pod, and we are really excited to invite you to attend this year's 2024 International Trombone Festival at TCU in Fort Worth, Texas. Dave Begnosh is our host. We have the world premiere of a brand new double concerto for trombone and piano with the Fort Worth Symphony. We have the American Brass Quintet. We have late night jazz featuring a Latin jam session. Like, everything is happening. All the cast will be there. It's the best hang in the world, and we hope to see you there. You can register for the festival still online at www.internationaltrombonefestival.com, and it's happening the last week of May. So go register. We'll see you in Texas.
The left arm should get strong, if anything.
Yeah, the left arm's the beefy one.
Yeah.
The right arm's getting all the cardio, you know? So it should be like lean and cut, with the left arm being like New Jack City.
Yeah, so left arm is like a large man from Finland named like Magnus Furusson that is in The Strongest Man. And the right arm is like, you know, a Kenyan marathon runner.
Hello there. Welcome. What were you going to say?
I thought you're doing your thing. Never mind, go on.
What were you saying?
Hello, I was just going to say hi back.
Oh, you thought I was talking to you. That's so nice. Well, I mean, I am talking to you. You're the only one I'm talking to. So you're not wrong.
That's true.
Wow, we're a well-oiled machine. Episode like 50 or whatever this is.
Well, you want to do your intro now?
I mean, I don't have an intro for this.
That's true.
I mean, everyone kind of makes fun of me with, you know, they'll see me in real life and be like, welcome to the Trombone Retreat podcast of the Third Coast Trombone Retreat. And they still call it the Third Coast podcast, Brian Hecht. But, you know, maybe one day people will know what this is called.
Well, one can dream a dream, John Sebastian Vera.
Speaking of what this is called, we had a couple more people message us with ideas for the title of the show for our side, more weekly short form series that we're doing now. This is the third installment of it. One person sent in Passonin' Around.
Passonin' Around? It's cute.
I don't know if that's like a play on words or not. Passonin' Around.
Posauna.
Our like 8 German listeners are like, yeah!
Posauna.
And then one that's like a little bit influenced by our first episode about trombonists being the best lovers is the slide in.
The slide in. Well, that also makes me think of like a really quaint bed and breakfast that's trombone themed.
Or it's like 24/7 recess and it's just slides everywhere.
Oh, dude. Remember the plastic slides at like McDonald's and stuff and how much static electricity it'd give you?
Oh my God.
And then you touch one of the rivets and it'd like zap.
One time when I was little, I stole one of the balls from the ball pit, and because I don't know, I wanted it, and I got back to the car, and halfway home, my mom realized I had it, and I have never seen her so angry at me before, and we promptly had to go back and return said ball, which was probably disgusting and full of like covered in urine.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Those ball pits probably have so much accidental urine and poop in them.
But it was mine.
No.
For that 10 minutes, it was mine. But back to that bed and breakfast, because you could like put in your hotel room, it could have like a bunch of different exits, which is just like a big chute or slide. And like one's like to breakfast and one's like to your car, one's to the front desk.
Now, how do you get back up? Is there like a fun way to get back up, or is it just stairs?
Yeah, that's kind of complicated. There's no way for a slide to go back into your room unless it's like some sort of like amazing technology that's like an upward slide.
Like an Escher painting?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I was thinking. So someone invent that bed and breakfast and you'll make $1 million. So I don't know, Nick, we can talk about it, but so some of the main ideas: slide in, Passonin' Around, fifth position, all things rusty, Jonesin' for a Bonesin' from Alexis, and the green room. With my heart, I think the tightest, the cleanest, it goes with our history of, we used to ask this question. I think fifth position, solid. I'm just going to say it.
You know, I'm not as sold.
What is there anyone that you're drawn to, or are you still like?
I still like the idea. We put them all out there and we do a poll.
And see, when Nick says these things, he means Sebastian.
Make a poll.
Put it on social media, because anytime I try to do anything on social media, I don't spell words good or use grammar good.
Hey, I got these big old sausage fingers.
That's what it is. The thing is, we know trombonists. If we make a poll and they choose something ridiculous, we might be stuck with that.
Well,
do you want to say that for the rest of eternity?
Only we get to see the results of the poll, so.
I don't think that's true. Again, with your Instagram expertise.
Well, if it's on Instagram, yes, everyone sees it. I mean, but I guess that's the only way to do it, yeah.
Well, what's going to happen is Alexis is going to like share it to her many followers and just like lobby everyone to vote for Jonesin for a Bonesin. And then I'm going to have to say Jonesin for a Bonesin all the time.
And that brings me a lot of joy.
You're going to have to say it too.
That brings me a lot of joy as well.
Okay. All right. I look forward to the poll that you're going to make. On the Patreon this month, patreon.com/trombone retreat. We had a special guest this month, Brian Wendell, new principal trombonist of the Cleveland Orchestra, talking about attacking his weaknesses in his routine with our trombone advice video. And we also hung out with Justin Waller in our live after hours hang, which was kind of ridiculous. And he has some of the best.
There's people out there that are famous for a Trump impersonation.
Yeah.
Like celebrities and stuff. I've never heard one as good as his. It's unbelievable.
Ridiculous. We might need to bring him on the show just to like...
when he does it, it's like, it sounds exactly, the cadence, everything. It sounds just like Trump.
We should like have him on and like ask him trombone questions. Ask Donald Trump trombone questions about how he's going to like support trombonist if he's elected.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, we now know the guy that we can do that with.
But cool. So... would you like to hear about what's going on in the world in trombone Google Alerts?
I want nothing more and expect nothing less.
Well, I know you're wondering, Trombone Shorty is doing stuff.
Oh my God.
He is out there. Trombone is in his name, and there's news written about him. Good for him, because we're fans. He should come on the podcast sometime. If you know Trombone Shorty, tell him he should come on the podcast. But there's actually a charming story from The Guardian. Was The Guardian the same one that wrote the article about the trombones being the best lovers?
I think that was the
Mirror. That was the Mirror.
Yeah.
Because I can't say that word. Yeah. Well, anyways, English journalism's doing much better about the trombone world. So there's a really lovely article written by Amar Kalia about this woman who, at the age of 72, just had this random urge to learn the trombone. She's a cafe owner. She's 72 years old, and she just had a dream that she played the trombone and she was having the time of her life. She said there was a jazzy tune on in the background. I was playing along on a trombone, bending the notes and having a great time. And so when she woke up, she just realized she had to learn the trombone. And I think that is badass.
Do I have a story that's almost identical to this with a student.
They had a dream?
I had an adult student who at like 50 something years old had a vivid dream that he could play the trombone, had never played an instrument. It was so vivid and so like pleasurable that he woke up, went straight to Sam Ash and bought like a student Yamaha trombone and then started seeking out trombone lessons. Well, his son's band director is married to the second trombonist in the ballet. And he remembered that for some reason. And so reached out to him and he couldn't do it. So he asked if I would teach him. So I taught him and he came in for his first lesson and he was so excited because in his mind, it's going to be like this dream. And of course first of all, he opened the trombone case and right when he's opening up, I was like, no, don't open it that way. He opened it upside down and the whole trombone fell on the floor.
That's the first lesson in 6th grade.
Yeah. And so he pulls out the trombone and realizes, oh my God, this is so much harder than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, we had lessons for like 6 months and he's a great guy, but that's crazy that the story is very identical to that one.
In his dream, was there a big bearded, formally mulleted man teaching him the art and ways of the trombone?
I think that came later during his daily meditation.
Oh, good. Yeah, because Nick makes sure all of his students meditate about his lessons every time.
Yep.
That's good. That's good.
About all the knowledge you're going to get from me.
and you will. So yeah, check out this article if you want a little feel good read. Her name is Noreen Davies. It's in the Guardian.
That's just
So-
adorable.
We want some more trombone journalism. Keep it coming. All right. So we have a new question of the week from our audience. Dan Morris, our friend Dan Morris.
Dan Morris.
He wrote in response to last week's episode about we found a trombone quora question about how a trombone would be best used as a weapon.
Right.
That's right. Okay. And we tried to cover it the best we could with our vast knowledge of trombone violence. But his question, titled Trombone Violence Question, was, neither of you talked about how you can use it as a blowgun with poison darts. I've shot many a thumbtack a great distance with accuracy through my slide.
So, okay, that's obviously you take off the outer slide and it's like a pea shooter at that point then.
Oh, so it's like literally how pea shooter.
Yeah, like a literal pea shooter. Yeah.
Do you know anyone that's ever shot a pea out of their slide?
I used to do the spitballs. I'm sure you did too.
No, I was learning the instrument.
I shot a lot of spitballs. That's all I can tell you.
I don't know. Thumbtack? That's kind of like, that's an actual dangerous.
See, that's what I'm wondering, because you don't get quite a good seal with a thumbtack. It wouldn't fill up the whole slide. So I bet you he put it into like a spitball so that you could jam it in there and then
engineering.
Yeah.
That's a lot of engineering. And what if you inhale too much and you inhale the thumbtack?
Well, that's always the danger with blow darts, you know.
Poison darts. And you could mix up all the different types of darts, because you could have the poison dart, you could have the put them to sleep dart, you could have the darts that make them like grow gigantic or really small.
What is this, Alice in Wonderland all of a sudden? What the hell?
I guess you're just not familiar.
Who's your alchemist? Where do you get such tinctures?
There's a lot of methods. Okay, I think we covered that one. Thank you, Dan. Please send in more questions.
Questions and queries.
What should our question of the week be, Nick?
What's your favorite and least favorite dish for Thanksgiving?
Okay. All right. And we can tell you if you're right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah. So email tromboneretreat@gmail.com or message us on the Instagrams or the Facebooks.
Or MySpace.
Yeah. Our MySpace account is killing it.
Yeah. The custom music we have on our home screen. Woo!
What if you decided to, like, that was your angle, like, I'm just going to dominate MySpace while everyone's looking the other way. I'm going to create an army on MySpace and just get all the attention.
Well, first of all, I think we'd have to get MySpace back up and running.
Is it like not even?
I mean,
existence?
No way it's running.
It's like, it's on, but it's like, doesn't work very well. Like, I found my old profile. It's there. Actually, I should not tell people to go find that.
Oh my God. I bet your MySpace was incredible in high school.
I mean, you don't really do anything on it except have your top 10, which is weird.
Oh, MySpace is up, but it's not really up. Oh my God, this is so weird.
Yeah, it's like kind of there. And you can, I guess you could write like your favorite songs. I don't even remember what you did on it.
You could customize your home screen where you had like a little snippet of a song, and like, yeah, you could have, it was kind of like in that way more customizable than a Facebook homepage, but also like there's way less stuff you could put on there in general.
You could put all your favorite emo lyrics and emo songs on it.
What did Sebi have an emo period?
That's for the people that have known me since college.
Of course, he did. Let me try to guess. Neutral Milk Hotel.
No, they are pretty great. Are they emo?
No,
though?
not really. Okay, but what about My Chemical
That's
Romance?
That was a little younger than me. My jam was Dashboard Confessional. I'm not gonna lie. I went to a Dashboard Confessional concert. I'll confess.
Oh, he did it, folks.
And he actually, at the very end of the concert, he threw his pick, and it frisbeed through the air like dramatically in slow motion. My arms were crossed.
Of course,
and
they were, because you were like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I was feeling all my feelings at that point in life. And I kind of looked up for a second. I saw this thing whirling in the air towards me, and I was pretty far back. I swear to God, it landed on my forearm. It just like frisbee through the air, just landed on my forearm, and I caught it, and it was mine.
You were
After I
chosen.
lost it. I might have it somewhere. I think I put it somewhere. Then I cried for a bit, screaming infidelities. Okay, so our next segment, we were talking about having gripes, but like the most obvious thing in the world that a friend pointed out to me is that obviously this segment should be called Bone to Pick. I know there's a great interview series called that, but this is just focused on our gripe of the week. And I think, Nick, you have a bone to pick.
Well, also, bone to pick is very on topic for Thanksgiving coming up. Turkey bones.
There you go.
Get them turkey bones.
Do you have big plans for Thanksgiving?
I cook every year, have friends over.
Do you have a nutcracker that day?
No, this starts on Friday.
Oh, nice. Are you doing all the cooking, or are you actually going to let someone help you?
Doing all the cooking. But Daniela does the desserts.
And you're not going to let anyone bring anything?
Why? Why would I do that?
Because Thanksgiving is a communal activity where people bring things together. It's not a solo performance.
I like to cook for people. It's my love language.
Okay.
Acts of service.
That's going to be my bone to pick. Okay, what's yours?
Okay. As trombone players, we sit around a lot in orchestra. That's a given.
Mm-hmm.
But when conductors
Oh, you're gearing up. You're upset, I can tell.
are asked specifically, are we going to get to such and such section, which is like an hour away or whatever in the music? This is really much more exaggerated in opera. Everything's longer and we play generally less.
And you're doing that for the reason of like, do I need to be here?
Do I need to be here? Yeah. And then you sit around and they go, oh yeah, of course we're going to get to that section. Yeah, please be here. Then you sit around for another 2 hours and rehearsal ends and you don't play a single note and they don't use you. Why?
It's like, yes, you're getting paid, but, and to be devil's advocate, maybe they don't know, but when they act so sure that they're going to get to your part and they don't, that's bullshit. And it's one of those things that a conductor can easily gain every point he ever needs with a low brass section, guest conductor, permanent conductor, by just like being aware of the fact that often we only play like one movement and thinking ahead about how he's going to rehearse and maybe like knocking out that movement at the beginning or communicating that. Like, you'll be like the coolest conductor ever.
Oh yeah. Or letting the whole orchestra go like 10 minutes early. Ooh, genius. Instant genius. No, it's just, yeah, it's like, I don't know what it is. Yes, you're getting paid. I know it seems like a stupid thing to get all bent out of shape about, but it's like, I don't know, it feels kind of close to disrespectful. Even though it's, I don't think it's intentional at all. I really don't. Yeah, and then akin to that, this has happened, I'm sure it's happened to you too, where you sit there forever and then you come in and it's not like the best trombone entrance ever because we've been sitting there for an hour plus. And then the conductor's like, whoa, trombones. And you're like, give me a break, dude. Like, while you guys have been out like playing the whole time, we've just been sitting here getting cold, you know? So
that's the skill that people don't talk about enough. Can you just like sit there for half an hour and come in on something incredibly important that everyone's going to hear, whether it be incredibly soft or loud or a solo, and just be like, money. Like, that's the challenge.
Yeah, totally.
I love the challenge. It's fun, but you know, it takes some preparation.
And it takes a little bit of understanding of why that's of its own form of difficult. It's difficult to sit there as a string player and play all those notes, of course, but there's also, it's a completely apples and oranges thing. It's very difficult to sit there and jump on the moving train. And
but a conductor that like plays the piano, I mean, it's just, you just push the button. So why don't you just push the button on your trombone and make it sound good?
Exactly. I know. Sounded good on MIDI.
Well, Nick, I hope that made you feel better to talk about that. Conductors, I know so many conductors listen to this. I think the only conductor is your wife. I guarantee she's probably good about that.
She's very good about it.
So stop it. All right. Now time for my favorite segment, Nicholas, the trombone quora question of the week. And I have to admit, the hardest part of my job preparing for this is choosing a quora question, because the ocean of great trombone quora questions is endless.
Okay. I can't wait.
So our trombone weapon question last week was very helpful for all trombonists when they need to defend themselves in apocalypse. So the trombone quora question today, and I just really like how this was written. Why don't professional trombone players develop a big, beefy right arm, even after years of daily practice?
Okay. My literal response would be an obvious lack of understanding of that the right arm doesn't support anything.
Mm-hmm.
So why would it get strong? The left arm should get strong, if anything.
Yeah, the left arm's the beefy one.
Yeah.
The right arm's getting all the cardio, you know? So it should be like lean and cut, with the left arm being like New Jack City.
Yeah, so left arm is like a large man from Finland named like Magnus Fluresson that is in The Strongest Man. And the right arm is like, you know, a Kenyan marathon runner.
Do you name your two biceps?
Yeah, over here, I got Kid Ori. And over here,
You're stealing.
Yep, I am. And on the left side here, I got JJ Johnson.
Yeah. So guys, one day I realized that, I don't know if you guys catch this reference. I mean, I think maybe it's from Anchorman when he just refers to his Jack O'Leary and something Johnson, like his two arms when he's about to get in a fight with someone. And I realized that nothing works better than naming your two arms old jazz trombone player names.
I mean, it does sound intimidating.
Some Bob Brookmeyer and JJ Johnson have to say about that. It's just it's endless. It really is. Frank Rosolino and
okay, so I wonder what that would look like if someone just had one really strong arm. I guess it does happen, right?
But like having strength, there's a difference between strength and flexibility. So like if you're like insanely jacked, I wonder if it affects your mobility at all. We should talk to Ethan Garza about this, our friend who's the bass trombonist in the Seattle Symphony, who's just like a bodybuilder and ridiculous, if that affects anything. But he'll probably say it just makes him more awesome, knowing him.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think we're qualified to answer this question because
what are you talking about?
We're equally jacked on both arms.
There you go. It's not a video pod yet, so you can still explain how ripped we are. I hope that answers that person out in the universe's trombone query. He wrote, even after years of daily practice. And, you know, it is funny looking at trombone players because they often, if you just have them stand up straight with their arms on their side, more often than not, you see the left shoulder being a little bit higher.
Yep, and the right arm being longer.
Those delts. Well, cool. I think that answers that question. And so since we have a bone to pick, we should balance it out with a moment of gratitude.
Absolutely.
So my moment of gratitude this week, and I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the pod before, so I think one really special thing and beautiful thing that the Pittsburgh Symphony does, that I've gotten to play with them quite a bit as I've lived here in Pittsburgh with my friends Jim Nova and Pete Sullivan and Jeff D and now Doug Rosenthal, and of course Craig Knox on tuba. And as you know, as many of you know, Murray Crew was the longtime bass trombonist of the Pittsburgh Symphony, and in his prime, you know, arguably one of the most talented bass trombonists in the country. I know Nick was a big fan. He almost came here to study with him. And anyone that knew Murray, he was quite a character. We unfortunately lost him a bit early in his life a few years ago, but he was known for just being the life of the party, a pure extrovert. You know, he'd always close down the bar with you. He'd always have a funny story, always never being serious, always making everybody laugh. Just larger than life personality. And I see that personality a lot in his son, Ralph, who's one of my best friends here in Pittsburgh, a brilliant person. And he, for some reason, and this totally fits Murray's personality, during every tuning note, every tuning A in the orchestra, he would always play a pedal D.
Classic bass trombone move, too.
And not like hiding it. Pretty like, here's my note. I'm warming up, calibrating.
In tune.
And something really amazing that the Pittsburgh Symphony trombone section does Not all of them, but at least one of them every single time. From now on until like forever, as long as they're in the orchestra, they play a pedal D now. Ever since we lost Murray, and I got to join in on that a few times. Sometimes pedal Ds don't want to come out first thing in the morning, but I just thought that was so neat and so carrying on his like funny legacy. And you see these violists turn around sometimes, like what are they doing back there? And sometimes Jim Nova will play it and like, this one's for you, Murray. It's just really cool. And I got to tell Ralph that one day, his son, and that. Like I saw tears coming in his eyes. Like that really meant a lot to him. So if you ever go to a Pittsburgh Symphony concert, which I highly recommend,
absolutely,
make sure you're listening during the tuning note. You'll most likely hear that pedal D.
That is a very. You told me that recently, and I thought that was a more than perfect way to memorialize someone in a very. It's while it's not 100% subtle, it's relatively subtle because it's kind of an inside story / joke. Yeah, it's just there, and it's something quick and something you can do every day, and that's nice. I like that. That is a feel-good story, Sebastian.
We feel good here. We feel good on the retreat. We get our anger out, and then we feel good.
Because you know why? You know why?
Why?
Because hurt people hurt people.
I like when you really want to get a message across, you got to get really close to the microphone.
Hey, everybody, listen up. This is Uncle Nick talking to you.
Wait, hold on. This segment is called 10 Seconds of ASMR with Nick Schwartz.
Hey, kids. Just remember, always eat your vegetables.
We did talk about in I think the very first Trombone Retreat podcast about how we would like do a trombone ASMR with like trombone sounds and like spray bottles and stuff. We should do that sometime.
The best sound is like a really good bell when you flick it. It's like boing.
Dude, my students at Duquesne University have gotten this inside joke thing in the studio now, and they think it's hilarious. And they do it in rehearsals now, where they just do the cling on the mouthpiece.
Oh, right.
That's a really high pitch, and they think one of our conductors who's a little older can't hear it, and so they'll just keep doing it. It's one of those things that someone will do it, and you just kind of like do a double take, like where'd that come from? And now they all do it, and I'm just like, guys.
There's a trumpet player in the Met who has this one straight mute. I don't even think he uses it to play. He just brings it in the pit because it has this one feature, which is when you go to like, kind of screw in the mute, you know what I'm talking about? To like tighten it in. The corks somehow squeak in his trumpet. And when I tell you, it sounds like a screaming banshee. It is the loudest freaking sound. And he'll do it like right when the applause starts. He'll just like twist it once and it's like, just like this really quick screech that is so freaking loud. And it's like the first time you hear it, it's terrifying.
He's just doing it to be annoying.
Oh, yeah. And he does it just once, like that, like real quick, and then just like puts it down and pretends like nothing happened. We also have a horn player that can do this. When you bop the mouthpiece with your hand?
Yeah.
He'll somehow like pull the mouthpiece just out a little bit. And so it's kind of in the receiver, but it's like in his hand. And when he does that and pops it on it really hard, the sound it makes, it sounds like popping a cork, but like at like 100 times volume. It's so freaking loud. And I've never been able to replicate it.
That's how you get your mouthpiece stuck.
Well, that's why you hold it in your hands and it's not quite in the receiver.
But if it does, you go to howdenhorns.com and you order one of those great mouthpiece puller outers.
Puller outer. That's what it's called.
That's the technical term. Well, my mother is here visiting, and we're about to fly back to Texas. She's here. She came to see the last opera. And of course, I woke up and she had like cleaned my entire kitchen and put up my Christmas tree with lights. And
oh my God.
I know. And then gave me a lecture about the state of my kitchen. So it was a win and a loss at the same time.
Yeah, you usually don't come out scot-free on those. It's never just like, oh, I did this, and you're not going to hear anything about it. We'll give that lady a hug from Nicholas Robert Schwartz.
Did you forget your name?
I did forget my name for a second. It's okay. So
make sure you subscribe to the podcast. This has been another episode. Obviously, Trombone Retreat on all the social medias. We have a lot of really cool guests for the short form podcast coming up, and we have some long form guests coming up soon that we're really excited about. And let us know what you think of this new format. We're not going to do it all the time, but I'm thinking this is a nice way to keep going.
And don't forget to subscribe to everything. Press that like button, subscribe, all those things.
And follow Nick at basstrombone444 on the Instagrams and myself at js.vera on the Instagrams. And make it a great day.
Bye.